Hey, so this is in response to asking about 9/11 and my feelings about Osama bin Laden. Um, well, first off, I initially heard the news. I was in the car with my mom. She was driving my friend and I to school in San Diego, well, in Chula Vista, California. So the time was really early. I remember that much. My friend and I were talking about something stupid in the back, and my mom was like, "Shut up, shut up, shut up." And she turned it on, and she turned it up. And we couldn't figure out if it was real or not. And then I got into my first class, which at the time was English, like honors English or something, if I'm remembering everything correctly. It was in the 10th grade. So we all just sat and watched the news footage of it in our classes. And the one thing that I really remember, like the biggest thing I think, because I was so far removed from the area it was in, was being worried that they were going to take my friends away that were seniors. I know that people at the school were really worried. My school is really close to like 3 different naval bases, and at the time they didn't know where they were striking. Everyone was in a panic. They were just going to strike the whole of the U.S. So a lot of the adults were worried that the areas around our school were going to be hit, and a lot of the people that went to our school, well, a nice portion of them were Navy families, and so, you know, there were kids that were obviously frightened. But me personally, I just remember this huge sense of dread that they were going to take my friends away and my family. And just, it was, I think that was, it was awful what happened. But for me, what I feel about that day is just this huge sense of dread that, you know, about the war, that they were going to force people to join. And in fact, we had recruiters start, you know, canvassing our campus not too long afterward. So those are really my feelings and my memories of that time. There was also, my dad had just moved up to DC, and like, so I was a little bit worried about that. Like, I remember being so confused, which is sort of how I feel now. I don't celebrate anyone's death. I try not to celebrate anyone's death. I'd be a liar if I said I didn't. And it's much more symbolic than it is anything, like his video was talking about. But, you know, you can't help but feel some sense of, like, finally. I don't know. I'm very conflicted. I'm happy that it's, at least that part of it is over. I guess I'm sad that somebody had to die for it to be over. Yeah, those are my feelings and thoughts and memories.